Applebee's 2 for $20. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Life is for living. And at First International Bank and Trust, we're all about living, helping your dreams come true. Because we're not just in the banking business. We're in the first home business, the community sponsorship business, the how do I make this happen business, making your banking life easy so you can focus on what matters most. First International Bank and Trust. Live first.
A family farm is, well, different. The cab of a tractor is the CEO's office. Board meetings are held on the bed of Grandpa's pickup. And a conference call is a holler across the yard to hurry your chores, kids. There's homework to be done. A family farm is about family pride as much as profit. Farmers Union Insurance believes this way of life is worth protecting. Because this isn't just where we work, it's also our family's home. Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different.
Coming to you live from the Bonfire Studios North. It's another episode of Toros All Access. What are you laughing at now?
I'm laughing at myself, actually. Every time we do a show, I have it up on my phone so I can follow the live chat.
Yeah.
And you start talking, but the stream is, 5 seconds behind us. And I'm like, why is he talking while the opening credits are still rolling? Every time we do this. Every single time, I forget. But anyways.
That's Ken Oda, fans, if you didn't know him. I'm Peter Theodos. Welcome to another episode. And Ken, we have Toros hockey.
We do. It was good to be back at the NAHL showcase after taking last year off because of COVID. So it'd been a couple of years. Your first full showcase.
Yeah.
I think 11th showcase. So
the craziness that it was.
It was a lot of fun to be out there again and get to do that.
One of our billets, Ray, checking in. Come on, Ken, get it together.
I need to. It's that time of year though. I'll get it together around Christmas.
If then.
Yeah.
So a lot of news coming out of the Toros office as head coach Shane Wagner has
we can finally say where. Yes,
he has moved on to Hamline University,
his alma mater,
to be the head coach there. So you had a chance to talk to him a while ago, and that was kind of one of his main goals.
Yeah, back in
his coaching career.
Back in 2017, when he first joined the organization, one of the road trips, we're sitting in the hotel or at the restaurant, I forget where, and talking. And I asked him, what's your goal now that you're here in Minot? And he had said, his dream would be to go back to his alma mater, and it's now 4 years later, and it's happened. And I couldn't be happier for him. I think it's a great opportunity, and for him, that's the whole point of what we do here, right? Whether it's the players, staff, coaches, everyone who's here is looking to advance their career in sports, whether
bus driver,
as an athlete or an office staff or a coaching staff member. So for him to come here and reach his goal, I think that speaks well to the organization as well.
It does, and his replacement is going to be phenomenal, and we saw his first few games this week at the showcase. He got his first win. So without further ado, fans, please welcome Toros' new head coach, Cody Campbell. Cody, welcome to Minot and welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys. Super excited to be here.
Why don't you start out a little bit by kind of just telling the fans a little bit about yourself?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a father to a 2.5-year-old daughter named Keaton. My wife's name is Jess. She's also from Colorado Springs, where I grew up, and played goalie growing up as a player. Was fortunate enough to play in the USHL as a junior player, and move on to the Division I level. Played Division I, and right immediately when I finished playing, I got into coaching, and was fortunate enough to coach in the Odessa Jackalopes organization, in the North American League, the Janesville Jets organization in our league, then move on to Cedar Rapids in the USHL, back to Odessa, and then out east to Walpole, which is just a suburb of Massachusetts in the Eastern Hockey League, to get my first head coaching experience the last 2 years. And then obviously when this opportunity arose, it was all hands on deck to try to get this job, and I couldn't be more excited to be in an organization like the Toros and a city like Minot.
You've said that a lot over the last 10 days, whatever it's been since you joined us in Watford City, and that's something I'm always curious about is the reputation of our organization around the hockey world. And that's I don't want to say an outsider. You knew several of the guys in the organization already before you came here, but you'd been in Odessa, been in Janesville, you're out east in the EHL. What was your opinion of the organization before you got here, and how has that changed since you've arrived?
My opinion was that it was a top 3 organization in the North American Hockey League. How that has changed is I believe it is the top organization in the North American Hockey League, and I think it's a destination spot for junior hockey players from all around the world. From the support that Mr. Porter gives us and our team, to the office staff, to the coaching and scouting staff, and the facilities, we offer a lot to our players to help them ultimately chase their dreams and their goals of becoming Division I college athletes and further on than that. And there's nothing here or nothing not here that they would need to hopefully accomplish that goal.
Ken mentioned that you have pretty much been on the job for about 10 days. You were at home in Walpole when you got hired, and you drove 3 days straight?
Yeah, it was 28-hour drive time, so it was a haul.
Yeah. So you were thrown right into the fire. Obviously, you coached on Saturday in Watford, and
beat Bismarck. We can't say that enough.
No, we cannot. And if we didn't, Howie would definitely remind us. Yeah. But then it was right into the showcase. Didn't really have time to practice and all that. What has been the most important thing in this quick turnaround, and what's been the most difficult thing for you?
The most important thing, and this that doesn't necessarily change with the time frame and how quick the turnaround was, but just getting to know the players and the guys, and starting to build relationships with them and earn their trust, and know that they have to earn our staff's trust as well, and make sure that was communicated. So that's the most important thing. That's always going to be the most important thing. But to have to try to do it in short order before we play games that are worth 2 points, that was a little bit of rapid fire for sure. Most difficult thing is just personnel-wise making decisions off of very limited time, and obviously leaned on the staff, the assistant coaches, as well as our scouting staff, and Chris Lonke, who's our assistant GM, heavily to help us make those decisions. And ultimately that stuff is collaborative team effort on whether to let a player go, bring a player in, those kind of things. The more heads we can put into those decisions, normally the better and more sound those decisions are. So that was definitely the hardest part, is try to evaluate kids fairly in such a short amount of time, and then make them the right moves for what's going to be best for our hockey team.
Well, I think it's important as you mentioned, most of the infrastructure has stayed the same. Lonke is still the assistant GM. Banks and Howie were here all summer long with the team. So while you may be the new face, the rest of the hockey infrastructure has stayed the same.
Mm-hmm. No, and I've leaned on those guys so heavily here in the first I've lost count of days or if it's weeks now or whatever it's been, but I've leaned on those guys heavily, and they've been awesome. They've been super informative. They give their opinions, and like I said, we put all of our heads together to make sure that we're making the best decisions for our hockey team moving forward. Before we get more into your background, you did mention right off the hop that you are a dad. You have a wife. I know they'll be moving to Minot soon, not right away, but the plan is to bring them here. But while we're talking about kids, we had some fun with you. Was that yesterday? It's all been a blur as well.
It's been a crazy 2 weeks.
It has been
everyone in this room.
But just yesterday we had some fun with you. To promote our home opener, we're doing a diaper drive for Project B, which was formerly the YWCA, and the Minot DVCC. Let's share that now.
Hey Toros fans, Ken Oda here with Victoria Connor from the Domestic Violence Crisis Center and Ali Walsh from Project B. We're going to play a fun game with some of the players and coaches, but first we want to tell you October 2nd is our home opener. We're doing a diaper drive to benefit both of these organizations. I'll start with you, Ali. How did these help you?
So our diaper program provides diapers to families in need every month, and a diaper drive will provide us those diapers in which to do so.
And Victoria, how do diapers tie into domestic violence?
Diapering is one of those unspoken needs domestic violence survivors are greatly impacted by. At our organization, we provide other basic needs, diapers, wipes, formula, non-perishable foods, other hygiene products, and diapering is just one of those great needs that we see frequently with our clients.
All right, now on to the fun. We've got 3 Toros players, Jackson Panzer, Tom Keith-Sweater, and Braden Beam. The Toros coaching staff as well. We're going to have a relay race. Who can do 3 diaper changes the fastest? Who do you guys think is going to win?
I have the most experience in this for sure.
Okay, but
so.
All right, so I'll count it down, and then you guys can go. 3,
on the table
2, 1, go.
Done.
Can't be that hard, right?
Big lead.
This can't be that hard, right?
Over.
There's significant.
Unstrap it. Unstrap. Tommy doesn't know what he's looking at here. We're good.
Come on, Tom, you were just wearing those last week.
Let's go.
Done. Oh, that was quick.
Figure it out.
Oh, thanks, he's got the nimbleness for this, though.
Oh, wow, he's flipping it. Go. Other way. Yep, like that. On. Hurry up. Over.
He's putting his baby face
Come
down.
on.
Here it is. Come on,
Go, Beamer.
There you have
We
it.
don't have
The
real babies.
The coaches win. Cody, I'll bring you in for a second here. Cody, what was the key for the big win today?
I mean, experience plays a gigantic factor in something like this, and I don't even want to know how many diapers I've changed in the last 2.5 years. So my wife has way more under her belt than I do, but I've got my fair share.
All right, well, that'll do it for us. Once again, home opener is October 2nd. Toros and the Bismarck Bobcats bring diapers for these 2 great organizations, and you'll get a flex ticket good for any future Toro game. See you on Saturday night.
I still think my favorite part of that video is watching Banks just slam.
Like it's a rodeo when he just
Yes.
finished roping a calf, right?
So obviously, as you said in the video, you have a little experience. I'm guessing that's not how you or what you do after you're done changing a diaper.
Fist pump? No, not normally. Normally it's get her ready to go back downstairs. But yeah, I think experience was key to building a lead in that game there, and.
That I noticed you went with a couple of the younger guys as well. Not that any of our guys have kids, so no one has that firsthand experience. But you kind of handicapped it a little bit as well, picking Beam and Panzer and Kieswetter, some of the younger.
Did well though.
Yeah, but still picking some of the younger guys.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Like those guys, they're out of the guys on our team. They're the most recently removed from being in diapers. So I was a little bit worried about that, but I think they're far enough removed to where they struggled a little bit. Coaching staff was able to get the job done there.
You back to the coaching though. You jumped right from your playing days. You played it in Fargo and then at Niagara D1, right from being a college athlete into coaching. What was that transition like?
It was pretty natural. Obviously, there's a million things that you learn as you gain experience coaching, but it was something that I knew that I wanted to do in some capacity from the time I was, teenager probably, and I didn't know that I was gonna make it my career and my livelihood, but it was the transition was it felt natural. The biggest part of it is you're still part of a team, and when you stop playing, some guys have a hard time with not having that locker room feel anymore. And coaching gave me a little bit of that. It let me see the other side of things. I probably drove some coaches crazy doing some certain things, and
that's part of a goalie's job, though.
That is true, yeah. But gave me a much different perspective on the game, being on the other side of it from being a player.
A lot of players obviously have players that they look up to and a lot of mentors, but from the coaching side, are there any people that you've considered your mentor as a coach, and are there any coaches that you really look up to?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, mentors-wise, everybody that I've had an opportunity to coach under has influenced me in one way or another, and that goes for playing as well, to be honest. But Greg Gatto, Matt Cressman, Joe Dibble, Mark Carlson in Cedar Rapids, my coaches in college, my coach Dean Blaze in Fargo, midget coaches, all of those guys I've tried to take different things from and build my own style. And then people I look up to, this might be a cliche answer, but Nick Saban and Bill Belichick to me are the best to ever do it. Obviously, it's a different sport, but the way that they manage a team and the culture that they've been able to create in New England and in Alabama, I don't think you can take enough from those two guys ever. So those are two guys that I do a lot of reading on, and just try to continue to learn from.
Well, it certainly worked for you. Your first head coaching job with Walpole, you're the coach of the year in your first year. What was that experience like?
That was our players. I mean, we had a group of guys that bought into the culture that I was instilling there, and you don't really put anything into guys. Like they have to accept it, and you just encourage the development of different things. And that group of kids, man, they bought in. We overachieved in terms of the amount of talent we had, to the number of college commitments that we had, to the number of wins that we had that season. And that recognition for me was all for them, or came all from them, because if they don't buy into what I was trying to instill there, that never happens. I'm probably not sitting here, so I owe a lot to that group of players from that season.
And that was going to be my follow-up question, was what did that experience in Walpole for the last 2 years, how did that prep you? What were some of the bigger lessons you learned, maybe even a mistake or two you feel you may have made that helped get you ready to take this step in your career?
I mean, the million things you learn being a head coach for the first time, from managing players and managing people, how to talk to different different kids just based off of their personality. I could talk forever about things that I learned in my 2 years there. The help that I had from Todd Sterling, who was our director of hockey there, and scouts for Ottawa and the NHL. Just invaluable experience is the way that I'll put it. And there's always mistakes. Like nobody's perfect when it comes to that and different decisions that you have to make. But the one thing that I've learned is you don't want to make decisions out of emotion, but your gut can be very useful.
Toros this past week went 1-2-1 at the NAHL showcase. But for the most part, they were in every single one of those games by at least one goal for deep into the third period. What are your thoughts on how that went, and how do you think the team looked at the showcase?
Obviously, the results weren't what we wanted.
Yeah.
We went there with all intentions of winning 4 hockey games. We came out with 1. So the results weren't what we wanted, and the guys feel the same way on that. There were a lot of positives, though. We played really good stretches of hockey that allowed us to be in every game. Every game was a 1-goal game minus empty netters or overtime goal and that kind of stuff. But there were a lot of positives to our play there. There are also a lot of things that exciting for us as a staff to be able to get into a week of practice and teach and show guys some video and that kind of stuff. So a lot of positives, but we want to continue to focus on our process and making sure that the results follow that.
You mentioned getting to practice, being able to finally have multiple on-ice practices with the guys has got to be nice as we prepare for Austin this weekend. What have you guys been working on at practice this week to kind of put into play for this weekend?
Well, in Bill Belichick form, I'm not going to tell you. But we have implemented some of the structure that we're going to move forward with here for sure. And we were talking about it as a staff the other day. Like, for me, I'd been here, run one real practice last Monday, a practice at St. Cloud State, which was the day before a game, and we're a day before 4 games basically, and we're just trying to get the guys' legs moving after being on the bus all day, and then coach 4 regular season games plus a preseason game. So our practice to game ratio since I've been here wasn't exactly normal. So we're just looking forward to being able to continue to get practices in, build off of each weekend that we play, and just continue to move forward and teach how we want to play hockey to our players and make sure that they know the expectations of that, and just continue to move forward teaching the different systems and structure that we're going to implement here for over the course of the season.
Austin looked really good at the showcase, 3-0-1. They're crown champions. How much at this point are you focused on the opponents, or is it still just trying to get your system into this team?
We're focused on them. We will do what we need to do to prepare for them, but we also focus on ourselves. So we will be prepared for Austin. They had a great start, and that's great for them. It'll be a great challenge for us here this weekend. So we will prepare for them. That's as much as we will focus on them. Everything else is going to be about us and making sure that we are able to dictate how the games are played this weekend.
Well, one of the things that you've been working on, obviously, is a lot of scouting, and you have a scouting call here in about 5 minutes, I want to say. Nope, 7 minutes.
Okay,
so
7 minutes.
Yeah, you got some time to get back to the rink for that. So, Cody, we'll let you go. As we continue to move forward with this season, we appreciate you coming on the show, and once again, welcome to Minot.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you. Fans were a lot of welcome to Minot messages in the chat as well.
Yes.
So we'll let you get out of here, though.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Cody. So, yeah, we have Central Hockey coming up this week.
Back into the Central Division for the rest of the year. It's going to be, if we learned anything from the 4 days of the showcase, it's going to be an absolute war. Everyone looked good. North Iowa, they're the former Amarillo Bulls, so a lot of their players are NA guys. This isn't just an NA3 team bumping up into our league and having to start from scratch, right? It's North Iowa's ownership owned the Amarillo Bulls. They moved them up. They were a strong team in the South. They look good already. Aberdeen looks good again.
Aberdeen.
Yeah. St. Cloud with Coach Millen. He's won a cup before. He's turning that franchise around. They looked really good in the 2 games they played. Plus, they had a big win over the U17s in an exhibition game.
Yep.
So this division is going to be strong. Bismarck's always going to be Bismarck. They might not have had the showing they wanted at the showcase, but
Lane's got something up his sleeve.
we know better than to write them off. So it's going to be an absolute war in the Central Division, and it kicks off this week for us in Austin. And
I feel really good about the guy behind the bench, though.
Yes.
I think, he's in a interesting, different situation that not many coaches are going to have, but just seeing it day in and day out in the office, it is incredible what he's already accomplished.
It is, but I think that'll do. Oh,
Diaper
the
Drive.
app.
And the app, yeah.
Yes. Toro's Hockey app. Go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Follow the Toro or download the Toros app. Follow all the news and notes. You can listen to games live. You can watch them live if you have Hockey TV. All of that through the app. Follow all of our social media channels on the app as well. Fan saves, dash auctions. Everything we do is now in that app. Also, you'll be able to win some prizes. Serve Pro will be doing the scoreboard shuffle game. You'll be able to guess, and if you're one of the lucky winners, you'll get a t-shirt.
Check in to win.
$25 gift card from Aspire Credit Union. So every game, Aspire Credit Union going to be giving one lucky fan a $25 gift card just for being at the game. So
we're going to have to do some more digging on it, but we may also be able to do fan pictures as well. So
yes,
if you're at
well,
the
we
game,
know we can. We just
got to figure out how to do it.
Yes, we just got our hands on the app. It launched last Wednesday, the first day of the showcase. We just got our hands on it that day as well. So we are learning how to best utilize it as well, but it's already got all of that other stuff that we've talked about built in. So go ahead and download that. And then the Diaper Drive, Project B and Minot Domestic Violence Crisis Center. October 2nd, our home opener. Bring a pack of diapers. It doesn't even have to be a full pack. If your baby has outgrown the diapers they're in, bring what's left. Donate them to Project B or Minot DVCC and get a flex ticket for a future Toro game for free. So, yeah.
That'll do it here from the Bonfire Studios North. For Sean Bachoven behind the scenes, once again doing a great job. That's Ken Oda. I'm Peter Theodos. We'll see you next week.